7 o'clock. We'll go ahead and get started. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Chico Onyx. My pronouns are he, him, él, and I'm a proud member of Onyx Southwest. We started doing our presence here about 3 years ago, and I'm very proud that we now have 6 of our members. We have grown very quickly in a short period of time, and I'll be one of your facilitators tonight. Co-facilitating with me is one of my brothers, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Onyx. I'm a proud member of Onyx Southwest, also known as Cowboy Number 2. And and I am happy that you all are here. Thanks so much for participating. I'm a member of Onyx Southwest since November of last year.
Thank you, thank you. I do want to start real quick by giving a big round of applause to our host, Ripple Phoenix. So if you could give them a big round of applause. They are hosting us. This is a monthly event that we have. It's a series that we're doing. We're alternating. 1 month we do a discussion, such as tonight, and then the other month we do a demo. So in August there will be a demo. One of our brothers back there, Bandito, will be doing the demos that month. And then also Ripple Phoenix is doing testing. So please keep that in mind if you need to get tested. Sam is right back there. Sam, you want to introduce yourself real quick, nice and loud? Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
Also, I want to give a big shout out to our partners back behind me over here, Gay PHX. We are live streamed tonight. Thank you so much for being here. They've been a big supporter of ours since we started, so thank you, Billy and team. We're so glad that you're here. So tonight really is an education session. We've invited various members, leaders from our own leather and kink community, and it's an honor to have you all here. As you can see, we have a very diverse group of people. We are so proud and so honored that you all decided to come and join us today. So here in a few minutes, we're going to hear a little bit about them. Pay close attention, because I'm hoping that as you walk away from tonight, you think about, sometimes we hear, especially nowadays in social media, we hear there's a right way to do leather. And as I hope that you hear tonight, there is a lot of ways to do leather. So with that, I'm honored to start introducing some of our panelists. And what I'm going to have them do is they're going to introduce themselves, tell them their pronouns, the group or the title that they represent, and then just briefly a little bit about your very first kink or leather event that you attended, and what was that like? When you first walked in, scared probably like I was, what was that experience like? So we'll start with you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Zara, she, her. I am the Vice President of the Arizona Women of Leather, or AWOL. And let's see, my very first kink event, it wasn't actually a leather event, it was actually at Apex, the Arizona Power Exchange. And I was already in a dynamic at that point, and my former master was already a member there, got me a membership, and we did like this really nice scene together. So it was a lot of fun. It was not my first time playing, but my first time, playing in an actual dungeon, and she made it a lot of fun. So.
Woof woof. Woof woof. Hi, I'm Rex. I'm Arizona Puppy 2026. My pronouns are he, him, or good boy. And my first kink event was called Dark Rave. I had been a puppy in Dom Sub Dynamics, but I hadn't gone out as a puppy publicly until then. And I just remember being in an environment where people just accepted me as a dog and treated me in a way that, felt amazing. And from that point on, I was hooked.
Hey everybody, my name is Austin Kent. I use he, him pronouns. I am a kinsman of the Phoenix Boys of Leather, and I am Mr. Phoenix Leather 2023. So my first kink event or leather event was probably at the Anvil back in circa 2015-ish. I was a very slim, stressed out grad student with way too long hair, and I was terrified to be there. I didn't know what was going to happen to me, but I knew that I wanted to see guys in harnesses and not much else, and was thrilled when that happened. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Quix. I use she, they pronouns. I also showed up to the Anvil just hoping to see people in harnesses and not a whole lot else. And I kind of just kept showing up there until I was known and established just by being absorbed. And ended up going to the pup nights very frequently. And simply by virtue of being there and offering my time and my energy and my attention came to be a part of that community primarily.
Hi, I'm Spark Onyx, or Pup Spark. My pronouns are he, him, or silly. And I am here as a proud member of Onyx Southwest. And one of my first pup events was a pup night at Anvil that one of my best friends took me to, or current best friend. And it was just nice to be able to go and be amongst other pups in person for the first time and see how everybody was operating and see how the community interacted, and to kind of express the silly, fun side of pup play in person. So, yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ben, he, him, Mr. Anvil Phoenix 2025, and the events coordinator for Arizona Men of Leather. My first leather experience was at the Fault Line in Los Angeles. Went there on vacation, met a guy that was talking to online. This is when AOL was big on chat rooms. Talked about it. We talked, and we ended up going to the Fault Line, just kind of chilling. We did nothing more than just friends, and it was breathtaking. It was tantalizing just walking in there and seeing people on the side getting haircuts, getting fades, and then walking in, you're seeing guys on leather. And this was like, I think, of random Thursday or Friday night. It wasn't even as busy as Saturday, but this is when the Fault Line was an actual leather bar. I mean, it was just at that point I knew, okay, this is what I like, this is what I want to be, this is where I belong. The fetish community, definitely.
Hello, everyone. My name is Don. I am the current treasurer of Arizona Leather Bears and Cubs, hence the hat. Past president, he, him pronouns, or hey, you, or something like that. Anyway, so I'm trying to remember my first experience. I think it was at the Dixie Bell in Kansas City, where I grew up. For those of you that have been around for a while, the Dixie Bell was a famous leather bar in Kansas City on Main Street, and I think I went there with my boyfriend at the time. Probably about 1991. I had just gotten out of prison, and so it was my first time really going to a gay bar, and so needless to say, I was completely uptight, but it was an experience. It was an eye-opening experience, and as they say, the rest is history. Thank you.
Hello, I am Rupert. I am the secretary for the Phoenix Boys of Leather. I use they, them pronouns. As far as my first leather or kink event, I believe that it was CLAW, Cleveland Leather Awareness Weekend, which I believe is now Columbus Leather Awareness Weekend. The first thing that I did was hang out with the puppies. I did a puppy foot race and got a permanent rug burn on my foot that comes out when I get a tan. And so still a little circle there, and I wouldn't change anything. It was super fun, and yeah, I had a great time, and I stuck around since then.
Thank you all. Oscar, what was your first one?
Oh, God. So my first one was probably walking into Padlock in 2013. And I was, maybe a little bit younger than that. I was 18, and I kind of walked into the bar just to see what it was like, during the day shift. But my first event was probably Mr. Cell Block, 2013 when they participating in the big event, and it was nice to see the community come and support each other and see how big the community really was, because I only experienced it in small little groups. It was nice to see that there was more than just me, and that's what hooked me. I was like, yep, this is my space. I love it here. So I'm grateful for that.
Very good. Thank you. Well, my first one was, you guys, I'm going to age myself. My very first event was probably in 1989, and it was in Colorado at the Triangle, which was the leather bar. Some of you guys remember that place. And the Mr. Leather Colorado was taking place, and they used to do demos. As part of the contest, they had to do like some kind of scene, and I was brand new, and I was just like, holy shit, this is nuts. Now, when they tied people up, then I was like, that's when I knew. Thank you all. Oscar?
Those are great experiences. Thank you so much for sharing this with us and being vulnerable. Glad that you guys could be part of this. So I have another question for you guys. Looking across the stage, we represent very diverse organizations, as you know. If somebody walked into Phoenix tomorrow and they knew nothing about the community, how would you describe what makes your organization or your title unique?
So one thing I've always really appreciated about Phoenix is the level of diversity and the willingness to change. Over the past 15 years that I've been around and in the community, I've seen people be able to express themselves in a safe space and kind of figure out who they are, what they enjoy, what makes them tick. And I like the fact that Phoenix overall is kind of ahead of the curve when it comes to like listening to new ideas, trying new things, and we will sometimes see people like ourselves running around in leather vests in 110-degree heat. So we're also a little crazy.
And what's unique about the Phoenix Boys of Leather?
Something that's just unique about the Phoenix Boys of Leather is I think that we are so diverse in the things that we like, the kinks that we like, the holes we like to put things in. It is one of those things where we're very big on not yucking anybody's yum. So if you want to try something, there's somebody in the Phoenix Boys that's into it and then can show you the way to do it.
Thank you, Rupert.
Thanks, Rupert.
I'm the next contestant on The Price is Right.
You're the next contestant number 2.
Right.
Wow. I tell people, I talk to gay people all around the United States all the time, and when I talk to them about Phoenix, there's this, reputation that Phoenix has that's not deserved, in my opinion. I think it just flows from ignorance that, somehow we're some backwater. When I moved here from Kansas City in 1993, Kansas City had maybe 5 gay bars. I moved here, and it was like gay paradise. There was like 30 gay bars, and I couldn't believe it that a city barely bigger than Kansas City at the time, obviously that's changed, had so many gay bars, and there were so many choices. There were lesbian bars. Kansas City, what's that, And so there's something here. It's like 50 Shades of Grey. There's something here for everybody. No matter what your scene is, no matter what your orientation is, whether you're female, male, trans, whatever, there's something here for you. It has an amazing gay scene. Now, of course, there are challenges. I don't want to paint a scenario that's not necessarily always perfect, but I think Phoenix bats way above the weight class. When I travel to other cities, like I get hassled in Denver because I'm dressed, like I got hassled at the Wrangler because they didn't like my outfit, that kind of stuff. So, and that doesn't happen in Phoenix. Like I've really never had a problem at a gay bar here. I have certainly had issues in gay bars in other cities. So I would argue that Phoenix is more liberal than what a lot of people give it credit for. So as far as Arizona Leather Bears and Cubs, we're a pretty laid-back organization. We have meetings in our backyard where Grid is. It's just pretty chill. We do events, but we keep it laid back because a lot of us are older. We've been around for a while. We've been doing stuff. And, it just is what it is. So I just tell people, come here, enjoy it. Yes, there are not as many gay bars as there used to be in Phoenix. There's still about 20. So there's still a good number. Internet killed the radio star. That's kind of what's happening, But that's how I answer that. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so I moved here in 2001 from Albuquerque, New Mexico. So my first unofficial experience at a leather bar was at a leather bar in Albuquerque called Cuffs, which was the size of a walk-in closet. Kid you not. And I had chosen to meet up with a guy down there, and I walked in, and I walked up to him and to talk to him. The first thing he did was reached over to my leather, touched my leather, and he's like, "That's cheap leather." And I'm like, "Well, they're Rubio." So we all, if those of us that know leather, Rubio is not exactly cheap and everything else. So that was my kind of unofficial first experience on leather before I got to the fault line. So my goal is always to not be that person. If you have questions about leather, about fetish, about kink, whatever it may be, if I don't know the answer, I'm going to reach out to my community, to my collective, and say, "Hey, I have somebody that's interested in this. I have somebody interested in that. Can you reach out to them, do this, do that?" Because I don't want to be shunned. I don't want them to be shunned. I want them to be welcomed. Because again, like Don said, internet killed the clubs, and with clubs kind of being stagnant, we want to make sure that we still welcome everybody into the community. Like I said, I'm the events coordinator for Arizona Men of Leather, and my goal is to kind of branch out to different organizations. During my title year, I did that. Worked with ICOA. I did Wax a Bear with the Pups. I worked with different organizations, and I did anything but clothes with so I've reached out to different organizations, and that's my goal, is to keep those bridges built, and make sure that we continue working with different organizations, different clubs across the metroplex, and make sure we continually work and erase any boundaries or erase any walls we have between us.
And what would you say makes Arizona Men of Leather a unique club?
Well, because I'm in it.
Okay, there's got to be something else.
That's how you get. Wow. And that's how you get a title.
No, it's a fun club. I was very anti-club myself before I got the title of Mr. Anvil Phoenix, because I like to be to my own drummer. And just joining it, and you see that it's just we're a good brotherhood. We get along. It's just a bunch of, again, very diverse group of people. We have Adam. We have different members of the group, and we get along. We work well together. We build community. We build our events, and it's a welcoming club for everybody.
Thank you, Ben. No pressure.
Everybody stole my answer. I guess I'd say, for me, being somewhat newer to the leather scene, just in general, I feel like I've been more within the scene in the last 3 years or so. That's about it. But the one thing I can say is that I think amongst all of the clubs in Phoenix and the organizations is that there's a lot of visibility to me. Like, I think I knew about so many different organizations and the different clubs, even though I wasn't involved or wasn't like actively trying to participate. I always saw members everywhere, whether it was a kink event or not. And so I thought that was really cool to be able to see that representation just all over, regardless of what kind of queer thing was happening. So to me, that was, I think, the cool thing about Phoenix. I think in regards to Onyx Southwest, I think it's important that there is representation for everybody in the kink and leather community. And I do think that it's great that there is an organization that can help to empower some of the underrepresented communities within the queer community. So that's my, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Spark.
Oh, goodness. Just, I suppose, to echo some of the things that other people have said, I agree that, like, yeah, the depth and breadth of Phoenix's gay scene is really quite surprising. Like, growing up here, I kind of also had that assumption of, like, oh, this is a conservative place in a conservative state, like, this is going to suck. And then going out to the bars and going out to meet people and getting involved with organizations, yeah, it very quickly became apparent that there's so much room here for all of us. And having, gone to different cities and tried to, like, see what their communities are like, I think there is actually quite a lot to be said for our community. I think I also forgot to mention, like, I'm here representing Arizona Pups and Handlers. Hi, everybody. Don't clap. So the puppy scene in general is really playful and joyful and really wants so badly to help people kind of unlearn a lot of the poison that comes from growing up in a modern human society. And Puppy is so much about like stripping a lot of those layers away and finding a more innocent form of joy. And Arizona Pups and Handlers specifically in regards to that, we are kind of the local puppy group that approaches from a more leather mindset and cares more about our leather history. And so we have like a particular outlook as far as like mixing, as far as like how these two worlds meet and where we come from and how to like continue that legacy forward. So
Perfect. Thank you so much.
I don't know why I have two mics either. Would Chico?
Give one to the back row, and then
Okay.
you guys keep it back there, and you guys keep
There
it
we
over
go.
here. He thinks he said anvil.
So anyway, no, I am going to be echoing what people have said about Arizona, but it is the Wild West, and whatever you're into, there's a spot for it. And I found my spot initially with the Phoenix Boys of Leather. I am a kinsman of the Phoenix Boys of Leather, and I am a sir to my boy Peter, who's sitting right over there and waving at me.
Hi.
And so I don't identify as a leather boy, but I very much support the mission statement and the values of the Phoenix Boys of Leather that Rupert mentioned earlier. And I was honored enough to be bestowed the title of kinsman, which essentially is a de facto member of the Phoenix Boys of Leather, which is the longest continuously running boy group in the nation, in the world, perhaps in the universe. Still to be determined.
Not bad for Phoenix.
But I'm also here representing the Mr. and Miss Phoenix Leather. And I guess that's unique in that it doesn't exist anymore. But
Yes, you carry
it
legacy.
exists in legacy. And while it was around during my title year, the Mr. and Miss Phoenix group, it's sort of a make what you will with it sort of title. So a lot of times that can be fundraising and supporting our community. When I earned the title of Mr. Phoenix Leather 2023, we had just lost a very significant member of our community. His name was Marcus Anthony. So I spent quite a bit of my time just trying to help us heal. And I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Thanks,
Thank
House.
you, Austin.
So as far as Phoenix, yeah, the puppy community here is massive, and it's really, really diverse. And pup play in general is just so multifaceted. People approach it from so many different ways for different reasons. And I think what's unique about the Arizona Puppy Trainer Contest is it really is a chance to highlight all the different styles and approaches to pet play. Some people who participate are not into leather at all. Some who do are very much into that. And so it's just a chance to embrace all of that and give everyone involved a chance to learn about different pet play styles.
Thank you, Boy Rex. And on a side note, Ben and I had the honor of being judges for the Arizona Puppy Contest, which was an amazing, amazing experience for us. But I got to tell you, when this boy got in front of us, he made us cry. The whole panel was crying when he answered his question. So it was a pretty incredible experience. And I've been around a lot of the contests that happen. But sitting there and listening to him as he was talking about his life experience was pretty touching. So congratulations once again.
And Chico, I just wanted to point out too that he just was bestowed something from the ICOA during coronation. You got how much was it? $5,000
Wow.
certificate. You want to tell him about it? I don't want to run your parade. Can I tell him because this is amazing.
Oh yeah, I was really, really fortunate, and I received a $5,000 grant towards my medical bills. I had bottom surgery last year, and I had a lot of complications. I'm super grateful that I was able to access that care, but it was really hard. And and pup play really helped me get through that experience. And then, yeah, that grant was really, really amazing. So, yeah, super, super grateful.
Congratulations, Rex. Great job.
Thanks a lot.
Zara?
Well, of course, I'm the last one, so everyone's already said everything about Arizona and Phoenix. But no, one thing I would just add, and I guess, it's also kind of, coming off of something that Chico was saying earlier, which is there are, some people who will kind of leave you with the impression that there's only one right way to do leather. And one thing that I think really differentiates the Phoenix community is, the diversity, but also sort of the acceptance of that diversity. And, people aren't really quite as uptight about, everything needing to be exactly perfectly traditional all the time. And as far as what I would say makes AWOL unique, I did join a few other women's leather groups before AWOL, and I met some really wonderful people there, and we had a lot of fun. But they're kind of insular, and kind of just going out and kind of meeting amongst themselves. Whereas I feel like AWOL, we go out and we connect more with the broader community. We do things with the Men of Leather all the time, and Onyx has been great about including us in events like this and other events. And so I would say we're a lot more plugged into the broader community. We do a lot more. We host a lot more events than other women's leather groups that I've been a part of in the past. So.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. quick follow-up for you. So what can all of us do to support your group, specifically yours?
Well, I mean, things like this are great. Just kind of, opportunities to work together, to build those bridges between the different groups, to get out there, so that people know that it's not just the men out there, and they're we can wear harnesses too.
Yeah.
We
And
can
you
we can have a fun time too. So just just things like this, and just including us and thinking about us when planning events and all that kind of stuff.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we've been talking, and it's come up a few times about the right way to do leather and kink. So as you think about when you first started, does your journey resemble anything of what you thought it was going to be like? Like when you were brand new and you thought about your journey in kink and leather, did it fulfill like what you were expecting? Because I got to tell you, I had never expected I'd be sitting in this bar stool when I first started. So in this one, not everybody has to answer. Whoever would
Just
like
an open.
to take it, that'd be great. Your arms are too short, huh?
The instructions were in English, and I'm Mexican, so I couldn't see it. I said apagar and prende. Well, like Chico said, it was like there is the right way to do leather, and I'm going to go with kind of build up what Chico said. It's what you want it to. It's what you want to be leather to be, and being fresh off of IML and seeing the controversies that Honey Davenport has caused, being named Mr. International, Mr. Leather, it's what you want to be. Honey Davenport is very well-rounded. Honey Davenport is an extremely talented individual. DJing from RuPaul's Drag Race too. I mean, if just to see there and see him live and doing his trench coat just like the peacock, I literally was like, wow. Honey Davenport has so much talent, and he is going to represent our community so well. I am very proud that he has my support. We have already planned a few events with Honey Davenport. Honey Davenport will be out here in the near future to do events with Arizona Men of Leather, so be on the lookout for that. But leather is what you want it to be. It's not. There's no right way or wrong way. I consider myself a hybrid of leather. I like the old guard look, the Tom of Finland look, but I also like the new look as well. Leather has come a long way where you see the fuchsias, the teals, the greens, and everything else. And it's not my take. I accept it, but I've learned to like it, and I've learned to accept it. So leather is what you want it to be. There is no right way. There is no wrong way. leather is expensive. We all know we start off with a harness or a belt, or a pair of shoes, and you build your community from that. But don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not doing leather right. Just like with my thing with the Rubio pants, it's what you make it. If it's a harness and a pair of a leather jock, that's your leather. That's what you like. That's what you're going to wear. That's what makes you you, and makes you unique.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you. Anyone else? I think perspective is really important. I think invisibility is. For me, in my personal experience, my leather journey has given me the opportunity to navigate from one side of the spectrum to another. I started in the leather community as more of a dom side, because it felt like it fulfilled a part of me. And now through Onyx, I am exploring my submissive side. I went from a master hawk on one side of the spectrum to this lunar boy on through Onyx. And I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to navigate it alongside all of you. And it's nice to know that there's no correct way to doing it. You're here through the journey, and we're part of with you as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Oscar.
I would just say, I never thought I would be like up here, doing this whole kind of thing, or the vice president of a leather group. I just kind of thought it'd be like a, just in the bedroom kind of thing that I don't really talk about too much, and it's funny even, kind of coming onto this, there was the Instagram post, and, my mom actually liked the Instagram post about me. Me being here tonight, and that's just such a wild thing to me, but that I would be so open about it now that like even my mom knows that I'm like doing this, and but she's proud of me, and I'm doing what I want to do. So
That's so awesome. It's
Thank
very,
you.
Very cool.
I think being part of the leather community comes with a lot of myths, a lot of ideas about what the leather community is and how you're supposed to enter it. If you could erase one myth about the entering the community, what would it be?
And again, not all of you have to answer, but whoever feels compelled to.
What myth do we try to erase?
So I think this is kind of an answer both to that question and also to the last one. I think I came into the leather community kind of with the assumption that the journey would be a lot more defined and a lot more monodirectional. I thought basically the journey was going to look like figure out who I am, somehow do a mentor type thing, I guess, whatever that's supposed to mean, and then grow into that identity that I had picked out for myself and then begin living that identity, which that is the journey for a lot of people. And not to take anything away from that, but I found that my journey was really quite fluid. I had so much room to explore gender. I had so much room to explore both being dominant and submissive. Like I kind of came in thinking like, oh, I'm gonna, look for somebody who's like more of a D type, and I'm gonna enter into like a dynamic with them. And then I just kind of belly rubbed pups until I ended up being like more of a handler in the space, which is also fantastic. But like being able to switch back and forth is something that I don't think was immediately obvious. And now looking back, it like so very much is. Like that's so much of not only what I see in myself, but also I'm looking around and realizing like how many other people have had that same fluid and sinuous journey and quite joyful in that way.
Any others?
What I would say actually kind of echoes Quick's. One thing is coming into the leather community, I felt like you had to be one thing. And I see this myth where people are like, you have to be a dom, or you have to be a sub, or you have to be a pup. And multiple things. One, putting yourself in a box seems really boring. There's way too many kinky hot things to do to say, I don't know, I'm not allowed to do that. Absolutely do it. Do multiple things. Also, the person you are today is not going to be the person you are in 6 months, is not going to be the person you are in a decade. Like, you are allowed to be a dom and a sub and a pup. You are allowed to experience multiple things. And if there's somebody that said you're doing it wrong, you politely tell them, fuck you, and you continue doing the things that bring you joy. So that's the big one for me, is you don't have to just be one thing.
Thank you so much.
Well said. Before we go on, if we could please just wave, we're live stream. So everybody wave to anybody that's watching. And if you're there, you're welcome to submit questions if you would like. So.
And you're always welcome in our community. Come and join us on this side of the screen. We appreciate that. All right, we're going to move to the direct questions. This one's for the Arizona puppy community, and anybody of the pups can answer. People often see the playful side of pups. What is missing underneath the hood that they don't get to see?
Something that I think goes really underrated, but again is like so obvious once you're in it, is that puppy creates like the puppy community and the activity and the identity of puppy creates a tremendous amount of room for also neurodiversity. What the hood often does is by anonymizing or by creating a barrier or by making a good excuse for not being easily heard or for not easily hearing, it kind of physically demands that you change the way that you interact with people socially. And so it's not just that you're entering into a playful headspace, it's that you are, and you know, not every pup needs to have any kind of gear, but a lot of what has been created by that aesthetic is a sense that you cannot expect the same social norms, the same social mores. And so regardless of what you are or aren't wearing, you are expected to just be able to behave differently.
And any of the other pups?
I was just going to say that, yes, like the playful, community-focused pup play is a huge part of the pup play community, but also a lot of it is not seen. What is often more powerful for me is just like the quiet moments being a puppy. Also, too, and this relates to the previous question, is that you don't need to have a handler to be a puppy, and you don't need to have a puppy you're in a dynamic with to be a handler, or for any type of dom-sub identity.
Spark?
What I would say, at least from my experiences, I guess what's underneath the pup hood is a different level of community. I know even just going to more like a traditional pup dynamic, you see like the pup pack, and I think that now has kind of expanded to where you don't see like any like specific defined roles in the pup community or in the pack, but you have a lot of pups who come together and create their own families like within their pup friends, which I'm very thankful to have a small circle of pups who I can call like really close friends. And I think that you'll see a lot of that along with bringing people together within the broader pup community. So we can all be closer together. Yeah, so.
Do we have time for another question for them? You
Sure,
think?
go for it.
What emotional needs does a puppy play sometimes fulfill that surprises people or you as an individual?
So this is definitely not going to surprise anybody that knows me, but one thing is I definitely got into puppy play as more of an escape of, you know, turn dog brain on and turn human brain off, just have a good time. But one thing that was also super helpful for puppy play is as I got older, realizing that I also wanted to create that space for other people. So it ended up filling not only kind of this service puppy / leather boy need, but also started teaching me like how I can pay that forward for like new puppies as they come in, and also being like, I want to make sure that this is something that other people can experience. So it kind of scratched the emotional need of being like an observant puppy to make sure everybody had what they needed, like water and attention, things like that. And also just, mosh monitoring when we do the APA moshes, things like that. So yeah, it scratches a little bit of that service puppy feeling as well.
Very good.
Very good.
Go for it.
So for me, as someone with a lot of trauma, pup play was actually incredibly healing for me. I was very guarded. it was very, very hard for me to get close to people in my life. I never in a million years would have been able to do something like this. And that headspace, that connection, just like opened up a world to me. Like I never in a million years like thought I would ever be this happy, and truly like pup play is the main reason why.
We're happy for you too, Rex.
So glad you're here.
I guess this is basically just refining what these two good boys just said. But puppy is like very nurturing as well. I think it's kind of impossible to approach the idea of no longer human but instead dog and pet and like not have that sort of nurturing mindset. Like the aesthetic of that, the aesthetic of a bunch of dogs running around kind of naturally brings forth a lot of that. And I think that's also been something really quite special.
Yes. Can't have joy without a pup.
All right, we're going to take a short break. Nobody's going to get up, by the way, because what I would like to do is introduce the founder of Ripple Phoenix. Our wonderful friend in the back is going to come and talk to us a little bit about Ripple and what they do. So if you please would come on up.
Jeremy,
please help me welcome Jeremy.
Jeremy with Ripple Phoenix.
Thank you. So I'm between y'all and a break. No pressure. But we're not taking a break. Oh, I am the break. I hope it's worth it. I'm the treat and the break. Okay. So thank y'all for being here. It's amazing to have you here. Thank you to the panelists for coming out and sharing your knowledge and wisdom with the community. It's amazing. Like for us, we started Ripple Phoenix in 2018 so that we could bring services to our friends. And we wanted to bring HIV services to our friends who didn't have access or may not have access that they felt comfortable with. And so seeing our friends here in this room today really means a lot. Like this building is quiet a lot of the days of the week, but it's really cool that we get to have this space to share with a lot of different people. This week we had a sewing class in here. We had some drag artists in here preparing for a pageant, and today leather. And so that's beautiful. It's amazing. And in the HIV world, it wasn't too long ago that we would do like risk assessments for people when they came in for testing. And anyone in the leather community was kind of considered extreme high risk. And like treatment has come so far, and prevention with PrEP has come so far, that I think it's really amazing as part of the leather community myself that we can have the sex and the kink that we want to have without worrying about HIV. And I think that's really a beautiful thing. And so we do provide HIV services all the time. So whether you are living with HIV, we have case management services. We have access to treatment. If you lose your job, lose your insurance, we can help with that so you don't have any gaps in treatment. If you're not living with HIV, we have access to PrEP, condoms, things like that, so you can stay negative. So we have all those things. You're our friends. We want to provide those to you. So come see us anytime for services. We have them available tonight with Sam in the back. So thank you, Sam, for providing services. And oh, Sam's there. I was like, I don't see him. But yeah, so thank you all for being here. It's amazing. Great job.
Thanks so much.
I would also like to give, by the way, I got feedback that people in the back can't hear us as well. So if you guys could please speak up, that would be wonderful. I would like to give Billy an opportunity to talk about Gay PHX. So Billy, why don't you want to come up or do you want to do it from there? How would you look? All right, hold on.
So Gay PHX streams interviews from our community so you can get to know people without having to necessarily go out. We know that when you're out at the bar, sometimes it's hard to actually have a conversation. So you can actually kind of get to know people and go, oh, hey, I heard you on the podcast, and get to know people. So we air those interviews every morning from 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. And then at 10 a.m., we actually air Daddy Sam's podcast, A Touch of Gay. So that airs Monday through Friday. And then on the weekends, we have a national gay news from that news is so gay out of Ohio. So we encourage you to check out gayphx.com. It also lists all the different events that are going on. If you have an event that we don't know about, please let us know. We would love to promote you. That's the whole point of Gay PHX, is to help community come together.
Thank you. Please support
Bill.
PHX.com and ripplephx.org. Thank you for it.
All right, let's get back to it. You guys ready? Most of us. That's all right.
Bathroom
we'll catch
breaks.
'em up. All right, we're going to start. And this question specifically for Zara. And so leather has historically been portrayed as male-dominated. You mentioned that a little bit earlier. So from your perspective, what do women bring that makes our entire community stronger?
I would just go back to what we were talking about earlier about, one of our strengths, we're talking about the Phoenix community is diversity, and, part of that diversity, I think, is gender diversity, and, I just think the more different types of people are involved with the leather scene, the more, I'm kind of a Star Trek nerd. I don't know if anyone else is a Star Trek nerd. But if you're familiar with the Vulcan concept of infinite diversity, infinite combinations, I think that applies in our community just as much as anywhere else. So I just think it's just another layer of diversity, and similarly to how other groups bring other forms of diversity as well. So
Yeah, very similar to Onyx, of course, a perspective.
exactly,
So
yes, yeah.
Great, thank you.
Next question is for the boys in the group here. The word boy means different things to different people. What does being a leather boy mean beyond the title?
So, to start out with, one thing that's been very important for me as somebody that's part of the Phoenix Boys is that the term boy is more of the boy spirit and not necessarily dictated by your gender expression. We have plenty of people in our club that are non-binary, that are trans, there are cisgender, but it is more that boy means to you like what... It's basically the spirit of service, of companionship, and of brotherhood, and siblinghood. And it's basically just being able to build the community that you want with like-minded people, and basically just making your community a home a little bit.
Very good. And how would you say that shaped you as a boy as far as mentorship goes within your club?
There's a lot to say there, actually. The short version of it is, if you had told me 15 years ago that I would be sitting up here, I would have told you that you were crazy. I went from being a very angry, young gay person in their 20s to being very happy and supported and loved by a large group of people, so much so that I came back to the 110-degree heat from New England. So it's changed me in so many ways. I wouldn't have thought that I would have been so open about my kink. I wouldn't have thought that I would have been comfortable, helping newbies in the kink community. I was very secluded, and the Phoenix community has just given me that, a community and a home.
Thanks, Robert.
All right, as a reminder, please make sure you speak up. Can you guys hear us better now, or still rocky?
Swallow it.
Like this.
Eat the mic.
All right. Moving on to our next. So we're going to go now to specifically our title holders. I'm going to start off with Mr. Phoenix Leather. How has being a title holder changed you in ways that you did not expect?
Thank you, Chico. How am I back there? Thumbs up. Okay. It is literally on my lips.
Where it should be.
Hell yeah.
He's gonna kill me.
So the Mr. Phoenix Leather title changed me in a lot of good ways, and maybe some ways that I wasn't expecting. So first off, it made me a lot more confident just talking to people. I certainly wouldn't be as comfortable doing this before the title as I am now, or even just mingling and talking with people before this, or just at a bar, especially at a bar full of people that I've never met before. And this just kind of forced me to do that because I needed to talk to people. I did also, so I went and I competed at International Mr. Leather back in 2024. And I didn't do as well as I had hoped. And I didn't understand how much that would make me disappointed in myself. And I've had to work through that. And I'm still sort of working through that. So that's another way that I've kind of been affected by this title. But I'd like to bookend it with something that I would also not have had without this, and that is really good friends that I made throughout the Phoenix community, even throughout the nation and internationally. I went to Baltimore, which I never thought that I would do. I don't like the cold, and it was November. To visit one of my IML siblings and to judge their contest. And I got to meet up with another one of my friends who is from Cleveland. I went out to see him as well, and it was just an amazing time. So the community that I've built, or that I have gotten to be a part of, is really a treasure from this title.
Very good.
Thank you, Elson.
And this question's for Ben. You know, people get to see the title and the sash and the visibility of being a title holder, but they don't usually see the responsibility behind it. What does it actually mean to be a leather title holder once the contest is over?
Well, it doesn't stop. A title holder is not. It's to me the word title holder is very generic. I think when you go for a title and you win that coveted title, you become an ambassador to the community. And even though my title year has come to an end, I still feel like there's so much more for me to do. Working with different groups, working within my club as well. People ask me, hey, so how does it feel to be now that you're done with your title? How does it feel? Have you slowed down? The question is, hell no. I still continue doing as the Arizona Men of Leather events coordinator. I am on the stewardship board for the Arizona Pups. I'm always working and doing something, creating events. It doesn't stop. I never in a million years, like Austin, ever saw myself running for a title. Never saw myself being on the IML stage. Never saw, and like Austin, didn't do as well as I anticipated it to be, but it is what it is. Because at the end of the day, we're all winners. We got a title. We went to that grand prize. We didn't make it, but we still won the hearts of our community. And that to me is the most important thing, is winning the hearts of the community and being that ambassador to the community and working with the community and building fundraising, building bridges, building friendships and everything like that. It doesn't stop. Again, it's something I never pictured myself being in. I was always a background player, and now I see myself not so much in the forefront, but in the middle of the pack, or in the court, moving my way towards the front of the pack. And it's been an experience, and it's been fun. Without this title, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys. I wouldn't be here, doing a lot of the things that I did during my year, and it's been quite enjoyable.
And we thank you because, all of the work that you put in, representing us as a community never goes unnoticed. So thank you all for the service work that you do for us to represent us. So thank you for that. Next question is for Don and Al back here. The bear community often overlaps leather, but how does it complement one another?
Hello, can you hear me now? Is it real or is it Memorex? I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer that. There's all back, leather bear. What's a leather bear? And I've tried to make it as inclusive as possible. When I was elected president in 2015, right after I was elected president, we had a biological female want to join.
Yeah.
And I had read the bylaws. I know, shocker, right? And the mission statement, and nowhere in there does it say you have to have a dick to be in this club. It doesn't say that. And so as president, the first thing I did was say, yes, this person should be allowed to join. If they have a leather heart, if they're a leather bear, does it matter what their gender is. And half the members of LBAC walked out over the next 2 months. A lot of the old guard left because they didn't like that. That's okay. We're better now. We have people that are more inclusive, and there shouldn't be a barrier to someone just because of something that they probably have zero control over, like how you were born. You know, I had a writing on my FetLife page for a long time, what is leather? And leather is not an outfit. Leather is not a look. There is no right or wrong way to do leather. Leather simply is. And either you get that or you don't. And, you know, I was Southwest Leather Daddy Bear 2023. Unfortunately, I couldn't do much with the title because I was in the process of getting admitted to the State Bar of Arizona, which is an all-consuming process. And so the answer is you make of it what you can, but try not to let the nattering nabobs of negativity, to quote former President Spiro T. Agnew under Richard Nixon, don't let the nattering nabobs of negativity get you down. You know, soldier on and do your thing. And if you want to join a club, join a club. You know, come feel the clubs, come check us out, talk to us, get to know us, and then you can make an informed choice what you want to do. There should be no barriers in today's day and age with what's going on in our country. There should be no barriers like this. We should all pull together.
Thank you so much.
Now, Dawn, I have seen you when you have been completely decked out. In fact, I was there when you won your title. Would you tell the audience a little bit about how you push the limits?
Well, you know, there's been some changes in my life. Part of it's aging. Yeah, I just turned 59, so I'm not exactly getting any younger, you know. I think he's referring to, like, my penchant for wearing miniskirts and heels, you know. I don't do that as much anymore. And part of it's because since the 2024 elections, I don't feel as safe going out. As an attorney, I've gone to some protests. I was arrested by ICE in May. I was held for a day in the ICE detention center on Central Avenue. It was not fun. Thankfully, I went to law school with some powerful people, including judges and our attorney general and our governor. And our governor used to be on the Pride Committee, you know. So there was a good connection there. So they were able to pull some strings, and after 24 hours, they were able to get me out. But that was quite a shocker. And then I've had some static over the years in the gay community. Like I went to Inferno in 2023, Inferno 50, Session B. And half the people there, half the guys there thought I was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and half the guys thought I was a complete and total heretic, you know. So I don't dress as much anymore because I don't feel safe, you know, in today's society, you know. And frankly, as I get older and I've had so much pushback, I'm getting tired, you know. So I just do my thing, you know. I support All Back. You know, we provide a nice environment for them. We donate money to them. We help them succeed. And I want others to feel safe and welcome too, but I also have that caveat that in our society, I don't know where things are going. I can't tell if we're on the Titanic and the ship is taking on water. Are we sinking? I don't know. You know, it's hard to tell. Hopefully Kankles the Clown will be gone soon. And and then we'll have, you know, some normalcy back in our politics. But, you know, at least in Arizona, Arizona's been a very live and let live state politically. I mean, ever since I came here in 1993 from the Midwest. And so I think we're in a pretty impressive state to be able to do some of the things we can do. So you do you know, and just get out there and, you know, keep pushing forward.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Don. All right, Spark, it's your turn here. Many people know Onyx by reputation before they ever meet a member. What do you wish people understood about Onyx that they often get wrong?
Can you hear me on this mic? Is it the mic? Is it the mic?
It's you. Raise your voice like you were the other day.
The tonsils, my theater voice.
Better.
I think there's a misconception that Onyx is very, like, I guess the word would be like exclusive. And I think seeing like what we've seen here in Phoenix with the growth of Onyx Southwest, is that it's inclusive in the fact that we do a lot of bringing the community together. And, you know, you can talk about membership, but in terms of the impact, it's like, you know, we obviously have everybody here from the community, just even at an event like tonight. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I see when looking at what Onyx is doing, not only just here, but nationally. And so I think that's kind of the big misconception, is that, you know, instead of being for everybody, it's like, I do think that Onyx is for everybody in the community, and they're bringing people together. So that's.
Thank you, Spark. We appreciate that.
All right. Now, before we switch to some additional questions, I want to see if any audience members have any questions for our esteemed panel.
We got one.
This question is for no one in particular, but it's more of a if someone wants to answer it, and it is, how has your sense of belonging changed since you joined a leather group?
Who would like to take that?
All right, are we doing better? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. I'm just going to I work at a bank. I don't yell all day. I have to be very metered. So as far as my sense of belonging, I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but I was a very judgmental, secluded, 19, 20-year-old. I think the first time I saw a puppy mask on the internet, I said, what the hell is that? That's so freaky. Fast forward, and wow, I wear it all the time. And yes, guess what? It is freaky. One thing since joining a leather community that I think has been impactful for my sense of belonging and my sense of wanting other people to belong is that all of these people that I was judging or like sticking my nose up at, it's a lot harder once you start to get to know those people, especially with how diverse Phoenix is. Meeting people with different like sexual orientations, body types, interests, and just walks of life, it makes it a lot harder to just, stick your head in the dirt and pretend that you don't see them as people, because, well, they're right there. And I think overall, like, the longer that you join a club, the longer that you get out there and meet people, you're going to realize that, like, no person is an island. You need to make those bonds. And if you're willing to be open to learning, like, other things from other people, you're going to find a home. You just have to be open to it.
Well put. Yeah, go for it.
So I am originally from Missouri, and I thought that the only place that I could be gay was New York or San Francisco. And so I moved out here to Phoenix for grad school so that I could be just a little bit closer, and I did not understand how connections worked, but I thought that because I'm closer on the map, then I'll make a bunch of connections in San Francisco. I don't know. But what I actually found was that I can be gay anywhere, especially in Phoenix. And so I went to Gear Night, and I met one of the presidents of the Phoenix Boys of Leather, a very tall giraffe in a singlet. And they took me around to the boys, and I felt like, oh, hey, these weirdos are just like me. And I got to find a community that I really belong to, and it feels great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other audience questions? There we go.
All communities ebb and flow. First part is, do you feel that our leather community in Phoenix is ebbing or flowing right now? Is it on the rise or is it on the down? And more importantly, for those of you who have long experience, what is your advice to weather those ebbs and flows?
Abajo.
Ebbs or flows? Well, I think it's very stagnant. I think, and I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of the controversies around leather. Again, this is leather, that is not leather, this is leather, and people get discouraged to a degree. I think right now it's not growing, it's not shrunk. I think a lot of it has to do with the price of leather. Leather is a very expensive fetish, right, Chico? Leather is a very expensive fetish. It's not a cheap fetish, and that's why I think people always fall back to the harness, fall back to the jockstrap, because it's the less expensive of the evils. But I think one of the things that we can do to grow the leather communities, and not just any leather community, but either any kink or fetish community, is just be welcoming and be embracing to all these people that are welcoming. Because like you, like me, we didn't have the internet back when I grew up in the 90s. The internet's a new thing, so we just couldn't jump online and see what kink or fetish is. I had to go to the local bookstore, the adult shop, to kind of see what the German magazine was all about, to see what all this was about. So now that we have all these resources in the palm of our hand, literally, and they read one thing, we can show them what it's really all about in our community. Because again, leather's what you make it, like I said earlier. So I think we have to be embracing, and we have to be welcoming to, regardless of what your kink, regardless of what your fetish is, but just welcome everybody, because that is the only way that we're going to grow our communities.
Thank you,
And
Ben.
whether it ebbs and flows, don't forget to claim your spot. You know, visibility is really important in your community. So put on your clothes, show up, represent your community the best way that you can. I think that's always one of the most important key components of it all. And I had a question over here, too.
I think Dave was next.
So you had mentioned about leather is expensive, right? And I definitely agree. As far as titles and like running for a pageant or something like that, one of the things that I've thought about that's kind of held me back with that ever like considering it is like leather's expensive, and I don't have a whole lot of like real leather stuff. In the community, I don't mind because most people don't care. But if you were to run for a title, I mean, do you have to have everything real leather?
I'm going to jump on that real quick. No. I guess it depends on the title you're running for, but I ran for Mr. Phoenix Leather. It's got leather in the name. And there's a few different categories. One of it is like the hot wear, the sexy wear. And I came out in a spandex singlet with a few leather accoutrements on my arms and boots on my feet, but that was my look that I felt hottest in. When people ask like, what should I wear to this event, my answer is wear what makes you feel powerful. If that's not the full bluff leather, you know, the Tom of Finland all geared up look, that's okay. It's Phoenix. It's 115 degrees outside. We're not going to fucking wear that.
Well, some of us are.
Well, not all of us will wear that.
Commitment.
Sorry, Chico. But I also want to mention that when I went and I competed, I wasn't wearing only my leather. I was supported by my community. The look that I walked out with, I borrowed a conductor sort of looking leather piece that's like a little bit of Ren Fair, a little bit conducting, and that was borrowed from Justin, who's sitting right over there. And I borrowed a few other pieces throughout my contest. So, yes.
So to echo what Austin was saying, leather is what you make it again. One of the top 20 contestants in my class was in Crocs. Crocs with spikes. At first, I went for full Miranda Priestley. I was like, spikes in springtime, groundbreaking. But then I thought about it. I was like, okay, he's wearing them, he's owning it, and he made top 20, so that's what he is. Those Crocs represent him. That's his signature piece. You know, everybody knows that when I go to the bar, I'm usually in a jock strap or my chaps or whatever. That's my summer light. And then when it comes to winter, I wear my full leathers. It is again what you make it, like Austin said. And sometimes it's nice to wear pieces that were gifted to you or lent to you, because those pieces have history. There's a lot of pieces that we are gifted or wear during our tenure that have history. Somebody lent me a chainmail vest to wear if I made top 20. I didn't wear it during top 20, but I wore it to Anvil, and people were like enthralled and thrilled with it. I was like, it's a legacy piece. This piece has so much history behind it. I was also gifted a leather shirt that I haven't worn yet, but I'm waiting for it to get a little bit cooler. But again, you just don't know these history pieces. You know, it's like a wedding, something blue, something new, something borrowed. It's the same thing. It's you don't know what the significance, that piece of leather, that chainmail vest, whatever you have, could have gone through 10 IMLs and you would never know. But that piece knows where it's been and where it's gone. So it's always nice to have that legacy piece and those heritage pieces in our collections.
One of the things that also can happen is that when you are in the interview part of your the contest, they can ask you about a particular piece that you're wearing, or they'll ask you, why did you choose to wear what you're wearing? So they will ask you, and a lot of the times what goes over really well with judges is when they hear, I got this donated by my sir, or I got this, so it has a history. So the other thing that I always encourage people in the Phoenix Boys of Leather, and also I think the Arizona Men of Leather have started doing this, attend when they do their
rummage stuff.
Their leather, what is it?
Rummage.
Yeah, the swap meet, and that's a great place to get some cheap leather. We were in San Francisco, and I was at that time with my sir, and we went to this giant, San Francisco, this giant thing of leather everywhere, and I got this beautiful leather jacket, a full leather jacket, brand new, and it was $100. And it was, I think it's in pristine condition, so attend those, and you can get a good leather. Dave, I think you were next.
So Don, you mentioned Grit, and I think it deserves a bit of a shout out tonight because it's an amazing space here in Phoenix. So could you share us a little bit about Grit?
We got time for another question?
Hello. So Grit is my partner and I. We bought a house in 2015 in Tempe, and we promptly named it Gay Resort in Tempe. And we used to go to CCBC in Palm Springs all the time. That was kind of our regular annual pilgrimage. So that was kind of our inspiration. So we found this house that has this amazing backyard. It's huge. And then we just started this process of converting it over the years. I have built 7 gazebos. There are 29 televisions on property. The entire backyard is turf. There's a pool. There's a hot tub. There's glory holes. There's pretty much everything you could want in a party space. And we try to make it accessible to everyone that wants to just come and have a good time. Our only rule is no drugs, and don't be naked once you get past the gate. Once you're past the gate, you can wear what you want, which can be a thong, it could be naked, it could be whatever you want. We also mix it up. We have different types of parties. Yes, we do have gay men's parties, but we also host pan events from time to time, usually once a month, where everybody's welcome, regardless of your gender or how you present. Come on down, and it's a very fun place, and I think people really love it.
One more question from the audience here.
Yes, 5 slings.
This is for anyone of the panel. What do you say to those people you come across who are kinky as fuck, but are just not into leather?
Good question.
Anyone?
I'll grab this one. So my perspective on kink in general is that I've always been more kinky than leathery, partly because I live in the hottest major city in North America. And I'm the same dude that, at night I have to have 5 fans and a sheet on me because I'm too hot the rest of the time. And you think I'm going to wear leather shit to the bar? Fuck off. It's not happening, But if you're kinky, they're not exclusive to each other. You can be kinky and leathery. You can be just kinky. You can be just leathery. I've met plenty of leather guys that are usually not all that kinky. It varies. Your mileage will vary. So it's really just, whatever you want to get out of life, If you find someone that's kinky and you want to expose them to leather, feel free. Bring them out to some of our leather events at Anvil or, By the way, did you guys hear the good news today that Barrick's got their liquor license?
Congratulations, Barracks Phoenix.
The whole thing was fascinating. I've watched it carefully because as an attorney, I'd be like, my God, how would I phrase this argument without getting pissed off and wanting to beat asses, And, some of the static they were getting was just completely, ridiculous. But anyway, we're going to have another leather space here in Phoenix, and I don't think it takes away from Anvil or Bunkhouse. I think it complements. And the fact that Phoenix, with 5.3 million people in the metro area, could potentially have 2 or 3 leather bars, that's great. It's just more like LA to some degree. So that's my answer.
Thank you.
I think, Austin, did you want
to? Yes. If you are kinky as fuck, but not into leather, come talk to me.
He's got pamphlets.
Okay, another commercial that we weren't expecting.
All right, let's ask a little lightning questions. How about that?
Sure,
You want to try
go
that?
for it.
All right, for the panel or members of the audience, what is your favorite piece of gear?
No one? All right.
Well, my favorite piece of gear is actually my formals from IML. That was a piece that I've always liked. I saw a lot of Mexican singers, and I'm not sure if anybody, not everybody has in the room has seen it, but it was a Mexican mariachi outfit. It's always something that I wanted, and I was able to afford it with my fundraising. So I think my favorite piece right now, it's gonna be my vintage heritage piece, is probably my IML formals.
Very good.
I absolutely recommend you have him show you a picture. It's fantastic. Like, they look amazing on you. Mine's a toss-up. I got this really gorgeous blue leather vest at IML with like a gold zipper that I feel really sexy in. The very first thing that I did is I, again, wore it in 110-degree heat. I said, no, I just spent a decent chunk of money on this. It's going on my body. The other one is one that I actually got relatively recently at the Boys of Leather swap meet. My alpha gave me some wrist cuffs that belonged to my friend Alan. He passed away a few years ago. He was a very small, diminutive leather boy. So when we were starting to divvy up his gear, a lot of it didn't fit me. I was very bummed. But as soon as those leather cuffs went on and fit, I got a little teary-eyed. I got really excited. I went home and wore them all night while I was playing video games. And so they're very special to me.
I'll do an answer too. I'll do an answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a couple of pieces that have been gifted to me from friends, but I think my favorite is my collar. That's, I think, the first piece of anything kinky related that I wore and wore out in public, and was kind of like my first expression of being within the kink or leather world. And yeah.
Thank you, Spark. Go ahead.
All right, so here's another one. And of course, the audience, you're welcome to also answer. What is one thing every newcomer should own? Own.
Or have in the closet.
Every newcomer every newcomer should own a friend who can help them navigate the kink world.
That's a great answer. Talk to Austin.
Talk to Austin. Yeah, Austin's your guy.
All right. What leather movie everyone should watch? There's many. Anything could be leather.
Well, I think something on the most recent is probably Pillion.
Pillion?
I would say Pillion's. It is on HBO Max. I think that's probably the most recent movie that a lot of people can relate to.
All right, let's take a poll. Who's seen the movie Pillion? How many of you liked it, and how many of you liked it? How many of you hated it?
A few. Okay,
There was this big controversy online. Out if you saw it, there were people who were like, "Oh my God, that's a terrible movie! It's a movie. Calm down."
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people had feelings. All right, what is the funniest misconception you've heard about kink and leather people? The funniest misconception you've heard.
As a fellow pup, I often hear the phrase, "So you fuck dogs?" Like actual dogs? And I'm like, are you fucking crazy?
All right. Did I see another hand somewhere? Oh, please.
I think a really funny misconception is the idea that like leather people are like aggressive. I think there's like this idea of like, oh, they look so tough, like all that, all that hardened leather and the boots. They look like they're really gonna mess you up. And then you go around and like, y'all are a bunch of goofballs. Y'all are so silly.
One of my favorites is your hole's not gonna go back to its original shape. That's one. That's a misconception.
One of the ones that is nails on the chalkboard for me is like, I like your costume. It's not Halloween. This is not Halloween.
Anything else from the audience? Yes, Peter.
Big person is a dom. Every small person is a sub.
What's another one? Every young person is, and every older person is a.
So the misconception I had when I first came in, because I had been in Florida and around the Florida leather scene, there was a home dungeon that in St. Petersburg that had a good leather scene. It was mostly hetero though. There was like one token lesbian couple, and that was it. They were awesome, and they really like welcomed me a lot. But I was very intimidated by leather because they were very high protocol there. And when I came out here and I went to my first leather event just to kind of check it out, I was just kind of a spectator, right? And then I met Zara and her former partner. And her former partner kept inviting me to stuff, and I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't have anything real leather. Like, I'm gonna show up, and they're gonna think I'm a poser, and like they're gonna expose me, and like it's just. I felt like I had to again own real leather things. I felt like I had to know quite a lot to really be involved in the leather scene, and that's not true. Like I remember I went to Pride, and I was so intimidated to meet Gabby. I was like really scared, but she welcomed me with like open arms, and literally like all you have to do is just show up and be willing and like have an open mind, and yeah, that was my misconception, that it's like super like elite, super high protocol, at least not Phoenix.
Thank you. You look amazing, by the way.
Yes.
All right, I think we're going to start to wrap it up, and I think what we'll do is we're going to do a really one last moment for you to share any advice or guidance that you have for those that are either new or maybe those that have been around a while and are kind of stuck in their leather kink journey. What advice or guidance do you have?
So this is also just to add on to what you just said. So I've been active in Phoenix's leather community for about 10 years now. And it's only this year, actually at Boys of Leather swap meet, that I really got the first the first items that I really considered to be like my leather gear. So I already had a place. I already like found community and was able to thrive and discover for about a decade before any kind of gear actually got involved as part of like my personal expression and my presence within the space. So I think being like having an awareness of that and having a preparedness to like not be held back by lack of gear or by gear that like might not feel like it's where you're necessarily going to end up, like, you know, 6 months or a year from now. Being open to that, I think, is really quite important, and also just simply accurate to what the community is like.
I also want to echo the show up. That's how I started coming around, was just continuing to show up consistently. The boys meet every week, and I made really good friends that way. For people who are starting out, I would say learn safety, learn how to do things in a way that's not going to hurt you or hurt the other person. And to people who have been around a long time, have fun. You know, sometimes we get really serious about everything, but it's supposed to be fun, and I love that part of kink and leather.
I would say to someone who's new to the community or wanting to be a part of this community, don't be scared to reach out to someone. Like, if you're interested in puppy play, you can DM me, and I will get you connected with events. This community is so welcoming. The leather community, the kink community, the pup community. Chances are, if you go up to someone at an event or message them and are like, hey, I don't know you, but I would really like to get involved in this, like, they will point you in the right direction. And if they're rude to you, they're not the people you want to be talking to anyways, and just stick with it and you will find your people.
Yeah, I would just say, I mean, I would echo everything that's been said. I would also just say, you know, I think it's easy to maybe have some imposter syndrome, or to wonder, am I really kinky enough for this? Am I really leather enough for this? And, just don't, I know I just saying don't worry about it. It's not the same as making you actually not worry about it, but just try not to worry about it. And for the people who've been in the community longer, let's just all try to not make people feel even more nervous about it than they already do. So when they're new.
What I would say kind of echoes Austin a little bit. Like, don't be afraid to just go out there and show up. And in general, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to look stupid or look silly. Because I've got news for you. We're all kinky. Sometimes it's just silly. Like, you just be genuine to what you like, and as long as you're asking questions with good intent, that's going to come through, and you will find the people that are willing to answer those questions. And everybody was new at some point. Just ask those questions, and you're if you don't ask the right questions right away, that's okay. As you go forward, you're going to learn more and get more experience, and you're going to find out what you are interested in.
I would say that two things. Number one, don't judge a book by its cover. You may walk into a bar and you see someone and maybe you don't find them that attractive, but that's okay. They're still a human being. Talk to them. Engage with them. You may find that they'll be your best ally going forward, whether you're physically attracted to them or not. And so don't close the door to anything like that, because you never know where life will take you. The other thing is, be aware of things like safety, safe words, consent. Consent is sexy. So, make sure that you don't grab someone's collar at a bar. I know that I joke all the time that going to a gay bar is consent. It's not. And so, ask permission before you touch. I know that's not something that's been traditionally followed in a lot of gay bars, but that should be the way things go on. I mean, I've been in gay bars with nipple clamps and collar and whatnot, and I've had guys grab my ass, try to put their finger up my ass, grab my collar, grab my nipple clamps, all that kind of stuff. No bueno. So just ask consent. I mean, maybe I would enjoy that, but it'd be nice if you asked me first, or if I'm with someone, ask them, Understand those dynamics, because if they have a sir and that sir is there, it might not go so well for you. So anyway, that's it.
Thank you, Don.
In the words of my favorite singer, Janet Jackson, don't ever let nobody tell you ain't strong enough. Leather is what you make it. Kink is what you make it. Fetish is what you make it. If you ever have any questions, you can ask. I'm sure you can ask anybody here on the panel. You can ask me, Oscar. You can ask Chico. We will be happy to guide you. If we don't know the answer, we will help you out, find the answer. But don't ever let anybody be that person that I ran into when I went to my first unofficial leather bar event, saying, "Oh, the leather is cheap," which it wasn't. It pissed me off, because I knew that what I had paid for that gear. So once again, it's what you make it. Be strong. Be you. Leather is everything in life is what you make it. If you make the best of it, it's gonna be amazing. Your journey, leather fetish is gonna be your leather journey is gonna be amazing. Your fetish journey is gonna be amazing, and don't be closed off, because if you're like me, I never thought I would be into half the shit that I am into now. I have evolved so much that I'm like, back in the day when I was like, oh, that's nasty and that's gross, I'm like, oh, that's hot. So just be open-minded, and don't let anybody ever tell you aren't strong enough.
I'll piggyback off of that. I was going to say, if anything, just be open-minded and don't have any preconceived notions of, what leather or kink might be or what you're interested in, because it can always change and it can always evolve as you have your own personal leather journey for yourself. So just kind of go into it and just be free and be open.
Thank you. And for me, I would say the most important person in this journey is you, and your experience is valid and is needed, and we welcome you here. You can talk to anybody of us. You have an open, safe space where you can come to, and we'll gladly take you in. Never stop exploring.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, that is all that we have for tonight. First, I want to give you, all of you, for showing up tonight.
Thank you.
From the bottom of our hearts. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you for being here. As I mentioned before, this is a series that we're doing. We do it the second Friday of every month. It varies next month. Our brother, where is he? Bandito, he's somewhere.
Back there.
He's going to be, oh, there he is, right there. He's going to be doing demos in August, the second Saturday of the month. We also have our Cigar Social, which is the first Saturday of the month. And yes, we are still doing it. It's from 2 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's hot as fuck. But we're still out there. We're not wearing leather, but we still go out and smoke cigars. Sometimes you're wondering if it's a cigar, if it's us. It's usually the cigar, but we're all smoking. So please show up. And then I want to give a big thank you to our wonderful and esteemed
panelists.
panel. Please give them a big round of applause.
Thanks all for being here. Please take a moment and check out all of their clubs and organizations. Support them through their titles, and give them a round of applause. They did a great job for us today. So thank you again.
Also, if you could, I want to give a big thank you to my co-facilitator,
Cowboy number
Lunar.
2.
There, cover number 2. Please give him a big round of applause. And then also a big round of applause to our wonderful team back here, Billy and team from Gay
Thank you, Gay
PHX.
PHX. We appreciate it. And once again, thank you to Ripple Phoenix for having this space for us. Please support them. Go see Daddy Sam over there. He'll get you your test. Every test that you take tonight will go to continue to provide funds for them and continue to have this space available for us. So please help them out.
One more. I also want to thank Steven and my boy Justin back there that helped us with the setup. Did an amazing job. Where's Steven? Is he still up there?
Somewhere.
Well,
He's hiding.
Tell him that we
He's
say
putting
thank you. Give
stuff
him a big round of
putting
applause.
stuff together in a
See?
way.
And then last, this was not expected. So Jeremy, could you please come on up?
Jeremy.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And also the our Phoenix Onyx brothers, if you could come on up. All right. One of the things that we take great pride in Onyx Southwest is that we focus on obviously creating spaces for people of color, but also what we focus on is we do a lot of fundraising, and then we also focus on education. So every month we select a nonprofit that we donate to. So this month I am very proud to say that the organization we selected is Ripple Phoenix.
Woo!
So we are going to present a check for $1,200 to Ripple. So
thank you for everything you do.
they have been a wonderful partner for us. Obviously, they opened up the space. And Jeremy and Jason, I've known them before, way before. And he's been not only a wonderful partner, but a dear, dear friend. So thank you for all that you do for us.
We love you. Thanks so much.
And then last, I just want to introduce the rest of my brothers. If you guys just want to loudly introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Ike Onyx.
I am Whisper Onyx.
Okay, Whisper, you got to not whisper.
You got to know Whisper.
Hi, I'm Whisper Onyx.
And I'm Bandito Onyx.
And I'm Spark Onyx again.
Thank you all. If you like a calendar, a printed calendar of our next events, please let me know. I have them here available for you. So thank you so much for being here.
And we'll be hanging out after. I think there's still pizza. There's still lots of beer and wine. So please hang out with us. Thank you again to our wonderful panel.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Have a good night.
Every kind of pup's got a place to glow. Pause up, come on, follow the sound. When we run together, we shake the ground. Turn it up, that's enough. Every pup's a star, and we're shining tough. Pups in hoods, pups in tees, pups in jeans, all part of the moment and the spaces between. Curious pups learning what feels right. Feral pups bouncing with that wild delight. Pack pups loyal with the loudest cheer. Handler hands guiding with love so clear. Every bark, every spark, every rhythm in play. This is how a pack shows pride today. Whether you're calm or bold or full of bliss, baby, this community looks good like this. Pause up with a pack on the rise. Feel that love in every set of eyes. Rough, 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 let the whole floor know. Every kind of pup's got a place to glow. Pause up, come and follow the sound. When we run together, we shake the ground. Rough, 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 turn it up, that's enough. Every pup's a star, and we're shining tough. Showing every newcomer how to stop. Rough, if you're proud, say it loud. Rough, rough, rough. Roll, rough. With a pack, we run this crowd. Pause up with a pack on the rise. Feel the love in every set of eyes. Rough, 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 let the whole floor know. Every kind of pup's got a place to glow. Pause up, come on, follow the sound. When we run together, we shake the ground. Rough, 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 turn it up, that's enough. Every pup's a star, and we're shining tough.
Scottsdale, it's Barbara Seville, America's favorite blonde. Joined us for Scottsdale's biggest drag brunch every Saturday morning at the Hot Chick in Old Town Scottsdale. Doors at 11, show at 11:30. We'll see you in Scottsdale for Peace, Love, and Bubbles drag brunch at the Hot Chick.
Hey, it's Forrest, your bare naked yogi.